Hello, everyone.
Hi,
My name is M9,
and I'm Nixie, and this
and
and
this,
this
and this is Out of Character. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to what is episode 19 of Out of Character. We are kind of a bit scrambled right now. With changes and stuff like that, and just kind of a little busy, but we wanted to make sure that we are back. Sorry for our absence last week, but just in case you are new to the podcast, this is a podcast for everything in the role-playing community.
we talked to lots of different people, though today it is just us. So you get to hear our lovely voices. We talk to server owners, modders, people in the community, whatever, and we talk about roleplay a lot and nerd out.
Yeah, nerd out.
I mean, that's pretty much what we do, though, right?
It is what we do. Yeah, it is. We talk about like the annoying things and the good things of RP, and nerd out about it, and usually bring on people to talk about different aspects of things. So if you are new, consider hearing us more often for different topics and stuff like that.
And we have a really fun topic today, which is rather relevant to what we have been getting busy with.
Yeah. So our topic
Talking
today,
about
Nixie, I decided to add it to the title screen, which I'm like, why have I never done this?
oh yeah, episode 19, RP versus there it is.
So that's a thing. We're going to be talking about RP versus PvP when it comes to our lovely community.
And I mean, it also is outside of our community too, because PvP versus RP is actually very common against each other, just in like the general like terms of the game. Like
Mm-hmm.
official servers with the PvP aspect, and then you've got the roleplay servers where it's like only roleplay.
Yeah, the conversation could definitely go in different directions based on what you're talking about. Yeah, because there are games that are focused on PvP, or like they have their own official servers, like you said, but nerds like us use them to RP in. So you can have two different experiences when it comes to the same game, or you can have those two experiences in one thing in an
In
RP
one
server.
server, yeah.
Yeah.
Because then you have the narrower focus, which is on the roleplay server, the PvP versus the RP. Which I like being able to say PvP and RP because versus makes it sound like you can't do both, but you definitely can.
You can.
It's difficult to manage sometimes because some people
Uh-huh.
make it difficult, but you can.
But then there are people that do a really good job at it, and then there's others that line will get blurred very easily. And like one of my gripes is, and we don't really have an outline here, guys. We're just gonna be talking.
We're just talking, which actually I thought is something that we should probably bring up first for people who are new to roleplay.
Okay.
Obviously, you know what RP is. We've talked about it enough, but
Mhm.
PvP is player versus player, which is basically fighting, like
Right.
combat, kicking each other's asses in games, or trying to fight tribe versus tribe, whatever.
Right.
For anybody who isn't aware that that's what that is.
Yep. And then RP. If you're around here, you probably know RP is role playing.
Yes.
But
So you
yeah.
got the people who like to talk about things and maybe bring PvP into it, what they're talking about. But then you've got servers that are literally just our PvP where they talk out of character.
Mhm.
Take a drink.
Yeah. Yeah, take a shot. We are gonna do a drinking night one of these days. And
Oh my god,
with
please.
as like stressed as we've been lately, I would
We should
welcome
have
it.
like an
I
extra long episode where we just talk and get like drink every time.
Yeah.
That'd be fun.
Yep. We'll just take a shot. But yeah, to go back to kind of what I was saying, like there are the people that do it very well. There's the people that have a difficulty balancing between both. Um or there's that line that can uh get very easily crossed when you feel like you were offended, or when like rules weren't followed and things like that. So the
Mhm.
thing that's really important about PvP period um is making sure you follow the rules, and that you know the rules according to whatever server, whatever game you're
Mhm.
playing on, because you can be on two different 5M servers and their RP or combat encounters be handled completely differently.
Completely. Every single server has their own different set of rules, especially like whenever I join a new server, the first thing I always check out is their PvP rules because they're
Hmm.
always different. It's like the rest of the rules are pretty similar. You've got some roleplay rules that might change a little bit here and there, but the big ones are usually combat and like how they handle raids and wars and thieving.
Right.
Like those are
Yeah.
the big ones.
Yeah, and that's actually kind of the thing that I look at the most as well. And not because I consider myself a PvPer, because I really
Mm-mm.
don't. I'm more of a role player than anything. But I am one of those people that I will play my character how my character is supposed to be, even if I suck at PvP. Like, that's just the way that it is. If my character would go into a fight, I'll go into a fight. I don't give a shit, even if I die. Um, but it's important, even if you're not a PvPer, and probably especially if you're not a
Yeah, because
PvPer,
if
to
someone else
understand
engages
exactly.
you,
Yep.
you have to know how to respond. You have to know the correct way to respond because other people are going to engage you. And
Right.
it's going to end up you're at a situation where you go, I didn't look at these rules because I didn't think they pertain to me, but now they do. What do I do?
Yeah. Exactly. And that's kind of the like, it, sh- it, I agree that it should be like RP and PvP, but there is that RP versus PvP mentality that you
Oh,
kind of
yeah.
have to be aware of, where there are people that are on a server and they just kind of want to hang out and have a good time, and you can't fault them for that. It's a video game and you just want to enjoy yourself. There are those people that are super competitive that they'll actually put the story in the background sometimes, and sometimes that bothers me because
Yeah.
if PvP is so important to you, then you can just go on official servers or non RP and battle
Mhm.
your heart's content
At
out.
your heart's content without bothering anybody else.
Yeah.
If that's what you're really wanting to focus on. Like the reason you're on a roleplay server is for the roleplay, in my opinion.
Yeah. Exactly.
'Cause that's why it's a role play server. That's what differentiates it from any other server. But if you're throwing that into the background, then, like, what are you really gaining from
Right.
being on a role play server?
But I think that there is a lot of servers, pretty much any that will deal with the PvP aspect because of that. Like themes are the themes introduce conflict,
Mhm.
and PvP or fighting period is part of storytelling. So sometimes if you try to just do like, hey, this server is like just solely for RP, there's no fighting, that's not
That's a problem
that
too,
is a
because
problem. Yeah.
sometimes role play leads to needing to clash.
Yeah.
And I've been on many servers where, like, I'm not a PvPer either. Part of my problem is I've never had good, like, internet connections, so I lag around like
Oh
hell,
yeah. Yeah.
but, like, I just am not a fighter. I'd much rather run away. That's why I'm a hobbit. But, I'm a runner awayer person, but I still, make sure I'm keeping up to date with what's going on around you, and sometimes you get into situations where you're like, "The only way to get out of this is to fight." Which does happen for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it does. It does. And I think that no matter what, no matter what kind of theme you're going for or whatever, you do have to find that balance. And the thing about the RP versus PvP topic is that the balance is almost impossible. It is
Oh,
You will never ever make everyone happy. If you try to lean towards the more PvPers, then you have to make so many rules around that for the ones that are primarily RPers that they feel like they can still enjoy themselves. And if you
yeah.
try to lean too heavily on the role players that don't necessarily want a lot of conflict or bullshit, then it becomes like this whole thing where it's like there's no consequences in the story that's being
Yeah.
told. So
Because consequence is so important when you're telling stories, and sometimes that consequence is a fight, is death, and you need to have the ability to have that happen for you to have roleplay consequences.
yeah, agreed. And I think it's something that's always been fine-tuned, and, there's a lot of trial and error, like, no matter
It's been
where you
trialed and
play.
errored for fucking years, though.
Forever. With every
Every
new game.
server,
Yeah.
every game, every roleplay instance that there is on the internet is trial and erroring. I remember the Arc boom when we were new
Mhm.
to Arc roleplay and there were no roleplay rules. And
Right.
everyone it was a freaking massacre half the time. There was so much that needed to be ironed out.
Yeah, no, I think back to the days of, like, SKRP
SKRP.
and the way that, like, PvP rules or, like, versus RP rules, it there was almost
Evolved.
non-existent. Yeah, like, from then to now, I think a lot of people have a certain understanding of the the rules versus like fighting and role playing. I think we've come a really long way from then. But even the crazy thing is like what can work one season sometimes doesn't work at all the next season, and sometimes there's no explanation. It's just like the way the
It
story and the community kind of recycles itself.
it's funny because it goes in waves for a bunch of different things, not just PvP and RP and rules and stuff like that, but, like, you ever notice when you're on a server and one season everybody wants to be a healer? And there's 7,000 healer huts selling 7,000 potions, and then
Yeah.
the next season, everyone's like, "Well, I was a healer last season. Let's all open taverns."
Yeah,
And everyone opens
that happens, right?
taverns.
And I feel like that's like a whole different topic, but it happens where like
Mhm.
all of a sudden everyone's thinking of doing the same thing. Like, why is there seven taverns this season? Like, what the fuck?
Last season, we didn't have any, but then you've got, like it goes with the PvP. Sometimes you
Hmm.
get seasons that are just people are a bit more heavy-handed in the conflict, or they're a whole lot less heavy-handed in conflict, and things shift and flow and sway. But I feel like that's where the role play, like over time, it's a lot of built up rules that developed as servers started to grow.
Yeah, and like Circa says, don't make PvP incentivized by rewards. Make it strictly organic, and that type of thing is kind of what makes the RP great. When there's like conflict and there's something that's moving the story forward. Um,
Yeah.
but then you'll also always, no matter like, no matter what, you'll always have the PvP heads that just want to win. Like, it doesn't
Yes.
even matter if your season is themed specifically towards something or whatever. You'll have those people that get into a server, want the best armor, want the best weapons, and they just want to win. They don't know what the hell they're winning. They
They
just
just go,
want
"I
to
have a
win.
s I just wanna be the best
Yeah.
at everything. I need the best armor, I need the best weapons, I need the best house, I need the best food, I need the best potions, all of it now." And they are going to fight you for it if you get in their way or you mention
Yeah.
that you have something maybe better, they, like, take it personally,
And
which is
yeah,
interesting.
and I think that that's like that's when it goes back to what I was saying, that that line gets blurred, right? Like
Mm,
for example, I like when I was playing one of my characters Zerod on Conan, he was like half Vangul, this guy that grew up in a jungle, had nothing, right? Most of the season I was playing with a sword that I found in a chest somewhere. Like, and that's it, because like for
Mhm.
me, that character, that's what it called for. I have
Yeah.
no need for special armor. I have no need for the best weapons. It doesn't make sense for my character. And there's some people that will do something like oh, I grew up in a farm, growing onions or whatever. That's a weird example. Uh,
Growing
but
onions. Nice. We're
but
seeing character development be created here,
I
okay.
have but I have the best sword there is, and I'm the best swordsman. I'm like, how?
And I'm riding around on a horse with my full plate armor, and
Yeah,
you're like, "Where
how?
did you purchase that full
How?
plate armor? And
Where did
did
your
you
character
steal that?"
learn these sword skills?
Mm,
But anyway, it goes towards that. Like sometimes, sometimes.
You gotta strike a
Um,
balance with
you
how
do.
your character is going to be versus how you wanna play. So if you're wanting to play a very PvP centric role, it's really important to give your character a background that reflects what you wanna have playstyle wise.
Yeah. And I will fully admit that I don't understand it sometimes because obviously I'm basing it on me. Um I'm yeah, like I'm using myself as the example, but I will never understand it because for me I have absolutely no need to win. Like
Me neither.
I don't get it.
I'm
Like
the least competitive person. Like, I have a problem with competition, and I know a lot of people are so competitive, and I applaud those people who are competitive because in my brain, the second there's a competition, I shut down. I'm like, you know what? I'm probably not going to win, so why should I try? And then, like, so I just go, nah, whatever. And then I make a homeless girl who lives in the sewers. Like,
yeah, man. It's interesting, but obviously you also have to understand there's different personalities and
yeah.
different things that people are good at, and they want to shine in whatever way they think they can shine. And it's okay for the most part, but you also get those people that will go completely out of their way, um almost like in the opposite of what I was saying. They will go completely out of their way with their character because they know that they're a good PvPer, right? Like
Yeah.
so they know that there's really no consequence to their actions because they can beat anybody on the server. And
Mhm.
so that kind of thing also has like a really bad taste when it comes to certain things, or like whether it's like certain kingdoms or certain factions or whatever, when you know that it's a clique of PvPers, sometimes those people will bully kind of the rest of the server, and that's kind of shitty at
We
times.
had that happen when I had an ARC server,
Yeah,
where
it
a
happens a
group
lot.
of people who were PvPers who are really good at PvP came onto my server that was pretty much full of just role players. We had no real idea of how to handle the people who were super into the PvP because we weren't focusing on that. It was a new season, it was a new server. We had been having great role play, and this group of people came in and literally started bullying other groups off the server, and it was awful because they see that target and they go for it and they're like, I'm going to win. The problem is that sometimes you get so focused on that target that you don't think about how that's affecting people wanting to play.
Mhm.
And a
Yeah.
lot of times the people who don't really want to fight get targeted because they're an easy win.
Yeah, I think RP should lead to PvP if necessary, or conflict, but there should always be conflict before PvP. Because like a lot of people think that that's the same thing, but it's
No, yeah.
not.
Not at all. The amount of conflict you can get into and never, like, touch each other
Yeah,
can be stupid. Like,
yeah, no, it's so true. Whether it's like
political, dramatic,
exactly,
personal.
and you
There's
see
so many
that in
different
like
ways you can
Game
go.
of Thrones servers or things like that, where there's like a lot of tension. Um, and Circa was in the chat even with like when I was King of the Vale, there was like tension, right? There's tension between us and the North. There's tension between the fucking king or whatever, but there was like never fights. And the I feel like sometimes that the conflict RP, it's what's missing to make the PvP worth it. Like I feel like the PvP is so much more satisfying when the conflict led up to that, you know? And
Yes.
it's not just I want to swing my sword.
Yes. Because then once you start swinging your sword, that's the end of the conflict, right? You get a winner. You
Yeah.
get you get because once you start fighting and the fight is done, where do you go from there? That's the end of it.
Yeah.
Suddenly you're like, okay, we fought. We This person won, and now we go back to what we were doing. we deal with the consequences out of like in character, like, okay, so this person changed to this person, or this person died, and then after that you just kind of start going back to it. You have to start over.
Yeah. And then there also goes into the defense of people that enjoy, the fighting aspect of a game a lot more. The defense is that some of these games were made for that. Like, we are a lot of the things that we play on, that we use as a medium, for role playing, were not meant for role playing. Let's be honest. Like, we use people use Skyrim, people use Ark, people use, there's now works of Hogwarts Legacy, that these games
Ye-
were not meant for role players, but they have
No,
been made
we
for role
invade.
playing. So you have to kind
We
of understand both
conquest
sides at
games.
that point.
We take conquest of games. We go, oh, what's this new game that has nothing to do with role play? How can we make it role play? Like, how do we like? There's actually a really good example that was a long time ago. Life is Feudal was so big just before Arc launched, and it was a hub for role play before that. It was like Reign of Kings and Life is Feudal and stuff like that. But Life is Feudal had two very separate populations. You had the people who played Life is Feudal because they liked to fight each other because they had a very intricate fighting system. It was literally the PvP servers versus the roleplay servers. And then the roleplay servers came in and went, "Oh, hold the phone. We got all this shit going on." And like
Yeah.
I remember like it ended up in huge battles. It was like we literally had Ragnarok when we found out that um building a lot of things on games like that causes lag after a while.
Oh, who would have thought?
That wasn't known at the time. That
Yeah.
was so new to gaming RP that we didn't realize how much of an influence building had on the game until we were stuttering like hell. So they held Ragnarok and a huge war broke out just at the end of the thing. It was awesome. But then Life is Feudal did something really dumb. And they made Life is Feudal MMO. And what
Hmm.
MMO did was basically stitch together all the PvP servers with the roleplay servers all into one thing.
Yeah.
And the role players went, nah. Like, well, I'm gonna find something else. Like this sounds this doesn't sound like a fun time for us. So we just left, and Life is Feudal Your Own just kind of petered out and died because all of the peers went over to the MMO. And I don't even know if the MMO is still around, honestly, because it completely split the community in half, which is very interesting to me.
Yeah.
Because there's a very split between the people who roleplay and people who don't,
Right. For sure.
especially on games like that.
Um, so
But
Circa says removing the rewards to PvP made it less salty for us in WRP, and for a while I was making all sorts of terrible choices, rewarding winning in RP. And actually, that brings up a good point, and I feel like this happens a lot in 5M servers,
mm,
because in 5M, when you really think about that type of structure, the idea of it is for, from the very beginning or from the very foundation, is for like certain factions or groups or families or whatever to essentially hold power, right? So
yes.
there is a reason to fight and to cause conflict or whatever. But I think what happens is that it becomes a competition real quick, and the the competition becomes the main reason for the PvP, instead of what, like we just said, the like role playing, um and the conflict. And I know it doesn't happen in every server or every story or every season, but it's something that happens often. And it's when something when the competition gets the better of people, then there's a lot of room
I
for
f I
tough.
feel like that's where it becomes a thing though, is when
Mm-hmm.
you start focusing on the competition and less about the role play.
Mm-hmm.
If there's less role play reasons for a situation to happen, people take it a lot more personally. And that's where you start getting like the Salt, where people get very offended when things don't tend to go their way,
Yeah.
is because when you focus a lot on you, how you feel out of character versus how your character is reacting.
Take a shot.
Um, thanks. I didn't even realize at that time. Oh God. You start to realize that a lot of people have a hard time. Falls into other things we've talked about separating yourself from your character
Yeah, I
and
think
character creation and stuff like that.
and I think that happens a lot,
It's
when
hard.
it's really hard. It's hard, and sometimes it takes experience. It takes shitty experiences, unfortunately, but you do learn to kind of deal with certain experiences or certain environments in certain ways. Um, but it is something that happens. It happens often. It happens a lot in newer communities or newer servers. And while things settle in, you're always going to have to make
Mhm.
adjustments. And even after you make adjustments, you're gonna have to make adjustments to those adjustments. And you're
Yeah,
gonna and
it's
then
constantly evolving
yeah, and then the
depending
next
on how the
season,
server runs.
right. And then the
'Cause
next
I
season you'll have
know,
to start all over.
of course, every time. It's every season is completely different. Like when I have my ARC server, literally, I can think of like first season, fucking fantastic. I love the fuck out of it. It was so good. Second season, I hated with a fucking passion. Like I absolutely despised season two. And then I got to third season, I was like, okay, this is fine. And then fourth season, the server died. It was like I had so many different feelings for every emotion, or for every season, because the seasons were completely different from one another based on how people
Mhm.
were responding to each other, the conflicts that started, the
Was it the same,
setting.
like, thematically, season after season,
So
or no?
it was a continuous story, but what
Okay.
they did the previous season had dramatic effects on what happened the next season. um yeah, I drop F bombs. Sorry guys. If you have a sensitive ear, I swear a lot. Um But, yeah, so it was like the first season they started off in Camelot, where they were the people of Camelot, and they pissed off a unseelie lady, like, the daughter of the Seelie and Unseelie couple,
Mhm.
who was basically like a princess. That pissed her off, and they ended up transported into Tir na Nog, and in Tir na Nog, they had to figure out a way to get back home. So it was a huge puzzle season where they had to deal with Unseelie bothering them. They had to deal with an unknown land, building themselves up. They finally found a way back, and ended up instead of in Tir na Nog in Avalon, where they were dealing with corruption, and like they had arrived and fucked up the balance of things. So things were going insane. And then the fourth season, they finally got back home.
So, do you
So
think
it
it
was
was
like a
mostly, like,
continuous
the
thing.
settings or, the challenges that they were faced with that just didn't hit as well? Or, were there, like, a lot of rule changes in between, seasons?
I think it personally, like I hate to be like this, but like it was the population, the
Yeah.
people who decided to play each season. First season, we were very small. It
Yeah.
was a much more close-knit group. There was conflict for sure because a bunch of groups didn't like each other and they had different opinions on how to handle things. And there was a lot going on. But the second season, everyone was just like at each other's throats.
Yeah,
And it was like
and I
people came at each other all the time.
that's kind of what I alluded to earlier. Like, even even though you feel like you're making all of the necessary changes, right? We can adapt and we can change things and we can fine tune things this season, and then the next season put all those things into practice and none of those work. And
Not a one. Yep.
and
Every rule went out the goddamn window. Like,
yeah, and it has to it'll work with like the original crew, but the role playing community likes to kind of wash in and wash out and recycle
mm,
itself and go from place to place, and which is totally fine, different experiences and stuff like that. But because of that, you get a lot of new faces, and sometimes experiences that they brought from other servers, and they kind of expect the same
Mm,
thing, and you're like, ah, that's not what this is about here. But
that's different here. We
hmm
like for example, even like between like my server, I had a lot less focus on PvP because I'm not very experienced in PvP.
hmm
So my rules were very simplistic. Like but this was before a lot of the cool things that like Discord even had available,
yeah,
like the ticket system wasn't a thing yet. Like there were so many different things that have changed to help like improve the quality of
yeah.
stuff.
And I think it's you made a comment saying earlier that how much things have changed from like back in the day when we all like started.
Mhm.
Um and a lot of that has to do with the way that games have changed since then. The way that modders have done certain things to facilitate certain
Oh my
rules
god.
or facilitate certain, restrictions or whatever, that it it wasn't a thing, so and I think something that we spoke about before, and this might be a little out of topic but probably not, is
I
the
mean, that's out of character for you.
right, that is out of
We
character.
give a topic and we're like, "Oh yeah, we were supposed to talk about that like 5 hours ago." Yeah.
We always said that for the Conan community, they're not used to going just based on, you know on a rule set, right? Like they're used to things being done mechanically in game. Like we
Yeah.
can't do like, hey, you're a blacksmith, you can only craft these things, which is something that we did in Arc all of the time. Yeah.
Literally every server. Yeah.
But
That's how you had your classes. They
yeah,
were crafting classes.
but because things have gotten so complex and so like on Conan, you can do so many things with classes, with factions, with mods. Um, People kind of expect to be restricted mechanically.
Instead of like what we did on Arc, which was I promise I will not
Yeah,
craft something outside of my class.
yeah,
And you held up your right hand and then maybe had your fingers crossed behind your back in case you needed to like repair a tool sometimes. Like
right. Like we
because
all
that
did
definitely
it.
didn't
Yeah.
happen. That definitely didn't happen. We didn't break rules, guys. We're good.
No, but like, but yeah, but and it's funny because we always say that restrictions and things like that mechanically, that does help PvP, that helps
Oh yeah.
RP as well. But we're still not at a point with the games that are as is right now, like Conan or Ark or whatever, to a point that we can rely strictly on mechanics. Like we're not there.
Yeah.
So when it comes to RP and when it comes to PvP, when it comes to everything, a server, there still has to be a point where motherfuckers just follow the rules.
Motherfuckers just follow the rules. Get that on a goddamn t-shirt.
Like, yeah, look out for our
Motherfucker, just follow the rules. I need that on a t-shirt.
look
Holy
out for our
crap.
official out of character shirts that say motherfucker just follow the rules.
Motherfucker, just follow. Oh my god. Yeah, I want that now, actually. I need both motherfucker just follow the rules and IRP with myself. Um for
No, no,
as t-shirt.
no, I'm talking about everybody, especially like when it comes to not just PvP, but when it comes to like role playing, right? Like there's some
Oh
people
yeah.
that will put in a ticket and they'll be like, can I do this? No, it says that in
Motherfucker,
the
just
rule.
follow
Just
the
follow the
rules.
rules. No, you
My
can't do
favorite
that.
one is that meme that's, "Sir, this is a Wendy's," but you do, "Sir, this is a whatever you're saying." Like, "Sir, this is a Lord of the Rings server."
Yeah.
'Cause it's just like, did you look at anything in the rules? Did you pay attention? Because
Can
I
I be
don't
a
know if you
shapeshifter?
motherfucker, just follow the rules. Motherfucker, just follow the rules. I need that.
No. No, you can't be a shapeshifter. God damn it.
How many times have we said? Okay, we're totally ranting about Nerd Haven. Sorry,
Mhm.
guys.
Now, yeah, now it's just we're just trying to make ourselves feel better. But
Yeah.
um it
No,
but
it does make sense in both contexts though. Is
mhm.
the RP and the PvP. Sometimes you just gotta go. I need to take a step back and follow those rules.
Yeah. And sometimes you kind of need to just back up a little bit and be like, And I said this to people in tickets before, and I'm not, I'm not trying to, I'm not gonna say names or whatever, but I've said this before, as in we're here to provide an experience for a server, not for individuals. And for us, that gets very difficult, right? But when it comes to like a lot of people trying to be like special in PvP or whatever, can I get this armor? Can I do this? Can I trade this armor with this people? And motherfucker,
Mhm.
just follow the rules. No, like stop trying to
Stop.
be special. Like we're catering for a server, not individuals, and it gets really hard. Um, but
I knew
you
this
know,
was gonna happen. We went full circle here.
yeah.
If
But
you guys didn't know, we are admins on a RP server now. So part of the ranting is to do with the different
yeah,
things
I know
that
you
have
do,
been
Candy.
happening of the last week, or two or three. It's almost three now.
You know, going not out of character, but out of script even more.
Take a shot.
Take a shot. I have had a surprisingly low amount of alcohol for the
Wow.
amount of stress. Like the alcohol to stress ratio, um, is off here. It's
Yeah,
very off.
I feel like at some point here we definitely need to be like, all right, long episode, let's fucking drink and and rant about shit.
Running some, yeah. And that's gonna be another shirt too. My alcohol to stress ratio is off.
Is off. We're gonna have a whole line of Out of Character merch. Look for it in the Discord, which is exclamation mark Discord, by the way. Um,
Yeah.
no, we've got. It is a part of the reason why Out of Character has taken a bit of a backseat because we've been busy with stuff the
Oh
last
no, it
3 weeks
doesn't
or
work
so.
on this.
Discord, it's Discord. Oh, that's the link tree that you're
The
looking for.
link tree.
Here, I can get that. Hold on.
It's not set up on my laptop. But
There you go.
oh, look at that. Clutch.
Yeah.
Thank you, thank you.
Well, we have the Find Us channel on the Out of Character Discord.
Yeah.
Copy paste.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
just to attempt to kind of pull the reins on this
Bring it
horse.
back. Bring it back.
Bring it back. RP versus PvP. Nixie, no, seriously. One day we're just gonna come in here topicless. I
Oh
said
God.
topicless, not topless.
Topless? Are you sure?
Topicless, and then we're going to just have some drinks and just talk. And
Like we did episode 1 where I was technically a guest in case you guys want to look at that link tree and watch our previous episodes.
oh yeah, that we talked for like two and a
We
half
got 2 hours.
2 hours.
And you know what? It's one of our best watched episodes.
It is. I don't know how.
I don't know why. I don't know how. I know people start at the beginning, but like it's literally the longest episode we've done. And all it was is me and M9 just talking shit.
I think it was like one of those things that people are like, oh, they're gonna say something where they fuck up soon. Watch, like they're just waiting. They're drinking. They're gonna do something stupid. People like waiting around for stupidness.
Oh, is that what they're waiting for? Because I have some wine right here.
That and we're awesome to listen to, but
We're pretty entertaining.
so guys, I think we might make this a shorter episode because I think we've kind of talked about everything that we need to talk about, but we want to let you guys know, and this is kind of a discussion that
That plus sign was my dog.
Merlin.
Yeah.
We are going to be making some changes, and we're just going to talk about this now.
We're gonna go into our plugs.
Yeah. So yeah. So we're gonna be actually breaking off from the Nine Letter Studios channel here, and most likely just making an out of character Twitch channel, or we'll probably do something else to stream the podcast live. My initial thoughts, and just for a bit of transparency, was that like my Nine Letter Studios was going to be composed of different shows and different things that I was going to be doing. And Out of Character was one of those things. However, Out of Character has kind of turned into this whole thing, which is very excited. and exciting, and we're super excited about it, and
So excited.
we're doing some other work on the side. So to kind of keep it as its own thing, we are going to move away from Nine Letter Studios, maybe make a specific channel for it, and same thing with like TikTok and
Yeah, we're
YouTube,
gonna be doing
things like that.
so much,
Yeah.
guys. Like, we've got so many things in the works, like TikTok, YouTube. Like you said, we're splitting away from Nine Letter Studios, so he can like you can also stream other stuff too, and it's not
Hmm.
just OOC.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, we're gonna be splitting up. We're gonna be. Well, it's obviously still me and M9 chatting and talking shit. It'll just be on a different channel.
Yeah, exactly. It'll be the same thing, and still based on the roleplay community, but we're gonna
We're
try to
trying to
kind of
spread the word,
get
guys.
it out
So
together.
tell a friend.
Tell a friend.
We're
Tell a
still really small, and we really do want it to make it a thing, and people seem to be really receptive of it.
Yeah. If you tell a friend,
So
you get entered to win a motherfucker follow the rules shirt.
and I
I'm
want that,
kidding. I'm
yeah.
just kidding.
I've told so many people I'm 9. I feel like should have like a lot of entries into the sweepstakes.
Yeah.
I want that shirt.
You're not eligible. You're the co-host.
Fuck.
Although you have
Fuck.
done a lot of uh marketing for us, so that's great. Nixie, seriously, we might have to do the drinking thing next
I
week.
feel like we
It's
should.
episode 20 next
We've been
week.
going for 20 episodes?
20 episodes.
Can you believe that?
Yeah, with a
We
couple
started
of
in what? Like,
weeks skipped here and there.
we started in like, what was that, November? Was it, or was it August? When did we start? No, it was like November.
We started in
December?
November. Yeah,
Yeah,
sometime
November.
late
Yeah.
late November.
Yeah, I
It,
think it was late November.
it,
Because then we took a break for
for
Christmas.
holidays. Yeah.
We took like a 3-week break for the holidays and came back in January. But I can't believe we're on episode 20 already. That's
Episode
insane.
20, and it's been
It's gonna
awesome.
be like episode 1 where we just get to sit down, have some drinks, and talk shit. So,
Yep.
like you guys apparently like. So, let's see. I'm trying to think. We have like 10 minutes left here for anything else because we
So
kind of covered the
yeah, go ahead and
RPVP.
plug in the rest of the stuff.
Okay, so let me plug our awesome stuff. If let me just do you have it here?
I don't know what I have. I'm tired.
Can I do that? Yes, I can. Okay. Oh no, that takes you to the Love
That's the
Shack.
Love Shack.
Fuck. Hold on. Let me invite
Wait, it's
people.
in the it's in the link tree.
Yeah, but I like inviting people directly to it because
Oh my
I want
god.
people to click because the link tree means you have to click twice. Go to
Yeah.
the Discord. Join the Discord. We have stuff there. It's a RP hub for other places, including the server that we are helping with.
Yep.
But it's also a bunch of other games as well, like GTA, Ark, Red Dead Redemption. We have a bunch of servers that we have linked on there
Yep. Really cool
that
directory,
are
guys. If you're
a
interested
little
in different
different. If you
games.
have ones that you want added, DM me or open a ticket on the Discord.
Mhm.
And we will get that added to. I haven't kept that up to date. I need to double check that.
Also, one very important thing: if you guys have any people or hosts or guests that you think we should have on the show for any topic, let us know. Put in a ticket,
Yes.
and we'll do our best to get in communication with them. And
Yes, we'll need help getting communications if you have someone directly like, that you want.
and it could be anything from like different servers. It doesn't have to be Conan, Ark, GTA. If you know any kind of role playing, we like to learn about different experiences as well. Tabletop as
Like
well.
the episode I talked M9's ear off about Forum RP.
Forum RP.
We had a whole Forum RP episode, which I literally just kept talking about.
Nerd.
I'm a super nerd. But yeah, we have got all sorts. We're going to be continuing it. It's going to be continuing to expand.
Yeah.
Like me and I've been busy, but we're getting there.
So busy.
Probably have like tips and tricks and things that like ideas for servers and just fun things that are all to do with role play is where
Yeah.
you can go to get all sorts of cool info. So
And because
thank
we're
you
not
guys.
busy enough, we keep taking on different projects because that's who we are.
Yeah. I mean, like we got what, like 7 in the works at this point. Like,
Yeah.
but we're getting there.
Yeah. Also, there's something that we want to do, and we still haven't worked out like the mechanics or how we're going to do this, but
Oh yeah.
we are going to try to have like events, like out of character events, whether that's just like hanging out on a specific type of game or movie nights or anything like that. We want to kind of do more stuff as a community that doesn't have to do with roleplay. Um,
Mhm.
and I think that'll be really fun if we can get something going. So, like I said, and like Nixie said, join the Discord and be up to date with all of the things.
And if you want to roleplay with us, guys, Nerd Haven is a thing. We'll be around there. So if you're interested in trying it out and you've never done it before, it's a good place to we can come know, say, hey, I know you guys from the podcast and I want to learn and we can help you out as much as we can.
For sure.
Get your feet toes into the water.
Yeah, and if anybody is running or knows that of anybody that's running a D&D campaign or something like that, just holla at me. I
Like,
don't have enough
yeah,
hobbies apparently.
oh my god, you're looking for a new game to join? I thought you were
No,
talking about someone up for the podcast.
I just want to play D&D, but no. But yes, also for the
You don't have
podcast, that's what I
time,
meant.
time.
I don't have time. I don't.
You have like 7,000 things you're doing right now.
My hobbies include taking on hobbies that I don't have any time for.
Yes, 100%. Yeah.
Yep. Well,
Yeah.
guys, I think that's going to do it for today. A bit of a shorter episode. If you have any questions
Next week will be longer though.
next week, we're just going to hang out, have some drinks. Maybe we'll even look for something to like play. Nixie, what do you think? Maybe,
Oh yeah.
yeah. We'll
We
just
could
do
play
like
a game. Actually, do like a stream for out of like a pot gaming stream for out of
Yep.
character.
Yep, we might do something. Like I wish we had like Mario Kart or something so that
Oh my god.
like that would be fun.
Mario Kart. Play some Super Smash.
Oh, Super Smash, you would get schooled.
I would be immediately murdered.
Actually, I'm so bad. I'm so bad at video games, guys. That's why I
Me
roleplay.
too. This is I was gonna say we roleplay because we can't fucking play games. Like that's what I mean. I'm not
I
here.
roleplay because it doesn't matter what my character is. I don't have to know how to play video games.
I just learn how to play the game for him.
Yeah.
And
Get yourself an
figure out and get
assistant.
him everything he needs. Yeah.
Yeah. But
But no.
I think that's going to do it for today. Nixie, do you have anything else to add?
Another shirt? Wait, what was
Another
the shirt idea? I need another shirt idea because I definitely need motherfucker just follow the rules. Like
Yeah.
IRP because I don't know how to play games. It's a good one actually.
Oh my god, my brain is fried. I need to like take a bath
We're
and
tired.
and get like a whiskey and just sit in the bath for like 30 minutes and
I
just
have
chill.
a hot tub, so
Yeah.
I enjoy the hot
Guys, I
tub.
do want to say I noticed some new followers and subscribers. Thank you guys so much
Yes,
for
thank
your
you.
support. It means a lot. And
One
yeah.
day, maybe you'll actually see like lots of people watching, and you'll be like, "I was here first."
Yeah. I was one
That'll be
I
cool.
was one of those people.
Yeah,
Yeah.
help us make some actual merch you can
Before
purchase.
Nixie was on TMZ.
TMZ, oh god.
Yeah.
When we
I
start showing up on the fucking like those like No Pixel does, that's
yeah.
the end of the
I
world.
knew Nixie before she was in like celebrity drama. Yeah.
I knew Nixie before she joined the streamer house. Fucking streamer houses are horrible.
All right, guys.
No, we're
Now-
gonna keep
just, we're
talking. We're
bullshitting
both
now. We're just
loopy as
bullshitting.
hell.
But thank you guys for hanging out. It was a fun one, and we will see you all next time.
Bye,
Bye.
guys.